Dominica Arts and Craft Producers Association, naturally Dominica. Dominica's arts and crafts sector has been struggling against several challenges for a number of years. To try and address some of these issues and help the sector realize its true potential, the Dominica Arts and Craft Producers Association was officially formed as a registered non-profit company in January 2011.
Sewing has always been in me since a little girl when I played with my dolls, because I came from a family of 6 girls and we all had dolls. So when we all did that little enjoyable time of sewing, so we were always making doll clothes. Well, I was always inspired about the madras and the bright colors. But when I look around and I'm seeing that all the ladies, they all dressed up and their accessories, they're always in plastic. So I sat and I thought about it, and I decided to go into accessories in the madras. So they have the madras bags to suit the Creole outfit.
I do a little bit of everything. I started my business when I could not do anything else, because I am, as you can see, I use crochet. Crochet, I started learning crochet since I was about 7-8 years. Now I'm 52 and I still know my crochet. And the seeds, I did the seeds a few years ago. I used to do a few bits of coconut. I made earrings, bracelets, cups and other things, bowls and other things. I was going to a function up in Portsmouth, and this white woman was talking about the toe thumb. And I decided to try it because she tried it with rope and seeds, I think, beads. And I decided to try it with the crochet.
We've got about 15 workers. We've got 2 males and 13 females. Most of them are employed right here. And our main type of produce here is basket weaving. The material that is used to weave the baskets is known as the rattan center cane and natural seagrass. The rattan center cane comes in different sizes. These we use sometimes as is, which is natural, or other times we try to do a little color, we dye it, give it different color, which helps to enhance the beauty and the ambience, quality, the standard and the value of the baskets. We've been here since 1964, and to date we have been existing for the past 50 years.
I make jewelry from copper, brass, silver, and raw materials, various raw materials like bamboo, coconut, and sea glass. Growing up, I've always been inspired by the sun, the sea, the beach, and by nature in general. So a lot of my pieces reflect that. Also, the warmth of the metals like copper and brass remind me of the sun, the heat of the sun and the warmth of the sun. So I'm basically a sun worshipper. Arts and crafts generally, I've always been inspired by arts and crafts because I get a lot of satisfaction from creating things by hand into something unique and memorable. And I put all of that into my jewelry.
I'm Celia Sorrento. My company name is Tropical Ties Photography, And my tagline is a shot of love from Dominica. And basically that really sums it up for me. Dominica is such a beautiful place, and to capture it through photography is one of my passions. And also I think Dominica really inspires that, that feeling of love, that feeling of one love. So that's what my photography is about. I'm also very interested in using recycled materials in my craft. One of the things again with Dominica, because it's the nature island, I think we have a lot going for us in terms of all the materials that are found in Dominica. I like to do recycled craft as well. So I use recycled paper to make paper mache bowls. And the symbols in the paper mache bowls reflect a lot of what I believe in as well. So you have the love heart and you have the spirals, which you will see spirals a lot in nature. You will see it in the ferns, the unfurling ferns and things like that. And it kind of symbolizes the outward flow of nature and continuity and life. So I like to put those things in my products as well.
I do crochet, different type. I do skirts, bags, belts, earrings, blouse in different styles, different shapes. Actually since I was small, but then since I come back and 5 years ago I started doing the crochet. It is a passion for me. I take pleasure in doing it. Well, what inspires the work, like somebody comes, they say, "Oh, you make this?" I say, "Yes." So then they say it's good. So then I feel good, and then it gives me courage to make more and maybe try to make it much better.
And I do stuff like dolls, hats, bags, and jewelry and a section like wines, oils, and spices too. And my business started small, but to me it's growing gradually. I started in the year 2000. One day when myself and my children father went to the garden, he was digging holes to plant tanias, and I sat keeping him company, so in talking. I said it looked like banana leaves could do a lot of things, so I started with the banana leaves by doing banana roses. I started by curling the leaves, and then I took the straw from the banana leaf and I tied it, and it made a beautiful rose. So from that time I started doing rose, and then at nights I would get vision telling me you must do this and you must do that. So I started doing other stuff like making bags using natural leaves like bus spot leaves, the peas, boakanu, all other type of leaves. I just put them together and then it comes out real attractive. So then I started bringing them out to the public.
My business name is CMC. That means Celia Making Craft. CMC. I started at a very early age with my craft. After school, my parents would send me at somebody's home to learn to do craft. So then I take the opportunity because I love the job and because it's using local stuff to do it. So I find an interest in doing it. I just feel to do it. I just feel give it a try. I use local stuff like the screw pine and the coconut, the dry coconut branches, the ripe ones, and I just sit down home and I just use my head and I do my craft.
I work with basically natural material. I create necklaces, souvenir items from natural materials. Example, bamboo, calabash, coconut, brown coral, banana leaf, and different seeds, basically, once it's natural. Well, I've been doing that for a long time, like more like 20 years. I did a course with the youth division, handicraft jewelry. That was on the Desmond Rivier. Then he was also into the craft business, so he did a course with the youth division, and I was part of that. So that was in '91. My products, I think what makes it unique is the designs, you know, the type of material that I use, and you know the way I use the material, basically.
Secret Garden is a small family-owned company. We specialize in making handmade products in Dominica, using our natural resources and creating a product out of it. Our products include handmade soaps, which I make. My father makes sulfur mud and sulfur cream, sulfur mineral cream. My mother makes massage oils. My family has been in business about 5 years now. But I started 3 years ago. I joined them 3 years ago, and I have included my line of products, which is handmade soaps, coconut oil. I'm currently looking into going into castor oil. Yeah. What I can say is, I would say nature is what inspired us.
Now, versatile really means doing things in many different ways, and crochet is a whole list of different items that you can really create. And I have been doing this crocheting as a business over 2 years now. I have developed it from my childhood hobby, and I have seen that I can really make a living by crocheting. Well, I have developed a system by categorizing my product. I aim at my market in 3 different categories. I analyze the global market and see what is needed, what is a necessity for women. I have scoped the market and saw what is needed for children. I've seen a lot of interesting things that I can make for children, so I've decided to make head clips, which they can wear in their hair.
I've been painting seriously from '91. Throughout my teenage life, I did more just pencil drawings and experimented with acrylics. I did a lot of pen drawings, superhero kind of stuff that I love. Okay, well, for now, for the past, I did a lot of painting on canvas, calabash, fabric, t-shirts, and leaves. Basically anything I could get my hands on. I turn to inspiration from nature. I believe that's the first thing. Change is the first order of the day, and I just try to connect with nature, feel harmony with it, and just paint.
I started doing upholstery in 1977 with the firm of Charles Brothers. And since that time, I continued until 1984 when I decided to stay home and do it on a grander scale. I produce items such as cushions. These are movable cushions. I have these smoke cushions. They have different designs, with thread. And then I have dolls, a variety of dolls such as the corn doll. I also have loofah, or you call it wild cucumber torsion. And I also have you have another variety like I used to make the banana doll, but that's what I have right now. I don't make anymore because of what this is in here. I also have the the wash bath, what you use to wash yourself. You scrub I have those I make that you would scrub your face, your feet.
I've been sewing for a long time, since I was about 19 years. For a long time. And so far, I can't complain. It has been good for me. But now and then I would leave, go overseas, come back. Every time I come back, I would come straight back to the sewing. It's like I cannot leave it. I sew clothes for people. Well, I sew bags. Basically, that's clothes and bags. At New Beginning Gifts and Leathers, what we do, we focus on making locally made items, leather crafting, candle making, and also decorative scented soaps. We also do recycled craft, recycled jewelry. We use a lot of natural product in our combined with the leather and the copper. Yes, we use a lot of stones, shells, and coconuts and other seeds and so forth in our items. Now, New Beginning Gifts and Leathers was started, opened its doors originally in 2008. However, leather crafting had been a hobby which started all the way in 97. With that, I developed a love and a passion for craft, that especially Dominican craft, that lead us to a point where right now we are so passionate about it that we have started up New Beginning Craft Workshop, where we intend to train young persons in different craft, especially the craft that I personally do myself.
Yeah, I was born in Roseau, grew up on the side of the river in Roseau. I was inspired very early by art, especially when I made structures using sand, stones, and the things on the side of the river. Entered a small exhibition at the age of 7, but really started doing more art at the age of 15, and later at the age of 25 when I became a teacher. Inspired by the love of teaching and a quote I read from a newspaper that I should be producing art or producing work to inspire my people in their struggle, my artwork took on a form of illustrations. Unique in the sense that I love nature. I've been looking at the different landforms, the landscapes, rivers, waterfalls, and to me it is synonymous with these things of the scripture. The waters as synonymous to the words of the scripture. So inspired by also the love of scripture, I try to produce as much as from nature.
I work with a lot of natural materials like wood, cow horn, cow bone, calabash, coconut, palm steel, all natural materials. Well, I started the wood carving in 1990, and the jewelry and sewing in 2009. I make different products like wood. I use a lot of different woods like mahogany, red cedar, blue maho, white cedar, almond, salmon, sandalwood. I use it to make wood carvings and so jewelry also, incorporate them with different materials. Yeah, I make necklaces, bracelets, earrings, chokers. Yeah.
I started wood carving at Massac School when I was 15 years old, and At first I didn't know what wood carving was. When they came and said, like, you know, who interested in doing wood carving? And then a friend of mine told me it's making things out of wood. So I signed up for the class, and then when I came to the old mill, that was in 1988, I saw what the teacher, who was Mr. Desiree, was doing. So I got interested one time. And then I started from there, and then when he saw how I was taking interest, he told me that I could continue anytime, you know, there's no school or during holidays, and that's how I started. And then I've been there since that time. And then after that I got interested in the local jewelry, because I saw that I had all the materials around me. I have calabash, I have wood, I have the seeds. So I decided to, you know, start getting into the jewelry. Just about 3 years now I've been into jewelry. One thing with my work is when I do one thing, I don't really do duplicates of my work. So most times if I do one design, because I don't really use patterns, I usually just look at the wood and see what it can do, and then I just do it and carve it out. So most times if somebody have a piece of my work, they would be the only one that have that style, because I don't really do two of the same thing.
OECS EDU have recognized the importance of this association, the Dominica Arts and Craft Producers Association, and therefore have funded this venture where we have done this short documentary and also a website. We would really like to thank them on behalf of not just DACPA members but Dominica on a whole for this opportunity to be able to really focus on the craft industry.